Welcome to Whispers to My Future Self, where warmth meets wisdom. I'm your host, Courtney Raquel, extending a cozy invitation for you to grab your favorite brew, settle into a comfy spot, and embark on a journey to become the lead character of your story. Join me as we prioritize your happiness and embrace life on your terms without reservation. Hey guys, I missed last Monday with you, and if I'm being honest, I thought recording an episode each week would be a breeze. It turns out when you're just starting your podcast and finding your rhythm and working full time while also working on yourself and wanting to enjoy life and live that dream that we're talking about, that recording one episode a week is a bit more challenging than I first imagined. So I want to apologize for missing last week and for being late this week. What I've decided is I'm going to release one episode a month. That way I have a bit more time and I'm not just rushing to release an episode that ends up me rambling and babbling on just so I can release something each week for you guys. I had tossed this idea around and I felt guilty about it at first because I thought, well, what's one episode a month? I want to provide more than that. But a friend reminded me I started this podcast around mental health and living a life we love. So who would I be if I went against what felt good for me and what I could mentally offer? I need to practice what I'm telling you guys. So I've decided no more feeling guilty. I'll do one episode a month, which is way more obtainable while working full time and enjoying life. And I thought when I've got the extra time, I can just surprise you guys with an extra episode. And my goal is to eventually be able to increase the amount of episodes I release each month. So now on to our show. I hope you guys had a great weekend and you're having a great week so far. How's this year going for you guys? Have you been keeping up with your goals and setting intentions? Did you end up decluttering your space? I'd love to hear how everything's going so far for you this year. You can definitely leave a comment or find me on Instagram and message me there. I know for me that I was reflecting on how one thing I wanted to change was working on figuring out what to do when I fall out of alignment. Last year, I noticed that I was really understanding what it meant and felt like to be in alignment and to be on the path of least resistance. However, there were times where I fell out of alignment. And being new to this way of life, it would really upset me when I did. There'd be days or moments where I thought, maybe I don't have this figured out. Maybe this was just a moment that I was improving, but it wasn't here to stay. I'd beat myself up thinking, maybe I was on the path of least resistance just because things were going easy for me. What happens when there's resistance? You ever feel this way? The self-doubt just randomly creeps in. Like 1 minute, life is moving in the right direction. You're feeling positive. You're feeling like life is changing for the best, and you are too. Only for something to happen where your good feelings seem to slip away, and you start to think maybe you haven't changed after all. I've struggled with that. And when this was starting to happen, I was feeling frustrated. Like, how can 1 minute I be feeling so good and I look around at my life and I think, man, I'm doing it. This is what I've been searching for. And I feel so grateful. I think, look at what I've been building. Look at how much I've improved my life. Look at what happens when I set boundaries, when I make choices without seeking others' validations. When I make time for my self-care and set intentions, I'm creating that life that I want, that no one else could have quite imagined up for me. Only I knew what I wanted and needed. How could I feel those amazing feelings and then randomly wake up feeling like the old me, wondering what exactly I'm waking up for in the sense of what should I be looking forward to? What's my purpose? What do I want from life? What's going to make me happy? Have you guys ever felt that before? 1 minute you're on top of the world, and the next, for maybe even not any specific reason, you're just feeling down? I have. Sometimes it can be external circumstances that make me feel that way, and other times I've just woken up for no reason feeling like that. And it used to irritate me, and I thought, What's wrong with me? Nothing has changed. You still have this life that you're building. Why are you feeling like this? This is what I want to talk about because it's completely normal to experience a change in your mood. Even when we've been focusing on positive things, our emotions are complex and influenced by so many factors. Sometimes, even when we're consciously trying to maintain a positive mindset, there's going to be unexpected events or triggers or who knows what, but something that just randomly, temporarily shifts our mood. It's important to recognize that experiencing these moments of sadness or doubt doesn't negate the progress you've made or invalidate the positive thoughts you've been cultivating. This is so huge, guys. Always, always remember that these feelings that bring you down don't take away from all the positive changes you've made. I want to talk to you guys about how to handle these situations when they arise. Because if you're like me, you experience periods of times to where you just don't feel aligned or you feel off or down. Starting off, rather than questioning and analyzing why you're no longer feeling positive or happy, try to practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that fluctuations in moods are a natural part of being a human. We are human after all. We come with complex emotions. Remember, it's okay not to feel okay sometimes. We don't have to be happy and in alignment all the time. Allow yourself to feel and process your emotions without judgment. There's this song that I love that's called It's Okay Not to Be Okay. And in this song, it would say, you don't have to hide the tears behind the rain. You don't have to find someone to blame. You don't have to understand the pain, because things won't stay the same. I love that song. So don't beat yourself up. Just realize this moment will pass and you'll be happy again. In a society that makes us feel like we need to hide those feelings or immediately push them deep down and bury them, I want to remind you it's okay. It's okay to feel sad or frustrated or out of alignment. Just don't stay there. If we can embrace the ebb and flow of emotions with acceptance and self-awareness, it'll allow us to move easier through the times we feel down. You just need to trust in your ability to navigate through both the highs and the lows of life, knowing that challenging moments will pass. So take time to acknowledge your feelings and then begin working on turning it around. So accept you're feeling this way, because you'll only add to the downward spiral if you begin to beat yourself up on top of already not feeling good. Believe me, I've had my fair share of downward spirals. I was seriously so great at doing the downward spiral. I'd feel off or upset, and the first thing I did was I'd start looking for more reasons to feel upset. I'd find them and I'd pile them onto my list of bad things. Let's just make a party full of everything that I should be doing right now and everything that needs to be handled and everything that's wrong in my life. And oh yes, now I feel so much better having this huge list of all the reasons that I should feel like crap. I've covered every minuscule thing I could think of, so check, done that. So I completely get it, guys. It's an easy, slippery slope to fall down. The voice of reason, though, we know this won't help. So let's just acknowledge that we're feeling this way, accept it as quickly as possible, and practice self-love and compassion. This leads me to my next step to practice when you're feeling out of alignment. It's a great time to take a break. Indulge yourself in a self-care activity or reach out to a supportive friend or loved one. Maybe try practicing mindfulness techniques that can help you navigate these moments. So when I recently felt this way, at first, I just wanted to sit in those feelings. Just let them consume me because it felt like it would be easier. But instead, I decided to do something for myself. I gave myself a little push and I decided that instead of beating myself up, I would do something to raise my vibration. So I ran myself a bath. I lit the candles and I poured in a very healthy amount of bubbles because can you really ever have enough bubbles? And yes, I 100% did splurge on these bubbles because I might have spent about $30 for this bottle. Judge me if you will, but I don't regret this purchase one bit. I'm telling you, they smell so amazing. It is worth every penny. And can you really put a price on how happy and relaxed it made me feel? So I lit my candles, my tub was full of bubbles, and I just slipped right into a little piece of heaven that truthfully brightened my mood right up. I let myself unwind and I just let go of all the bad feelings. I focused on relaxing and enjoying the lovely smells and the sound of the water running and my beautiful soothing playlist of songs filling the room. Now, I'm not always this lucky to easily slip out of my mood and realign myself. Definitely not the case. But guys, I'm telling you, if you are feeling down or in a slump, try doing some form of self-care. And maybe you're thinking, I don't know what that looks like. And that's okay. When I first started, what I did was I just tried different things. And as I tried them, if they worked, I wrote them down. And if they didn't work, then I moved on. So now I've got a list of self-care activities that bring me happiness that I can go back to. I definitely suggest making your own list because it's really helpful. I've also found when I'm out of alignment and I'm feeling in a funk, it's best to redirect my thoughts. So this is my next step for you. I'll tell you guys, if you're like me, it's so easy to focus on what's bothering me than to focus on trying to figure out something that will make me happy. Whether it's a circumstance or a person that maybe I had a bad interaction with or something of that nature, I just keep playing it over and over in my head, analyzing the conversation, trying to figure out, did I do something? Did I say something wrong? I think we've all been there where we just play it over and over in our minds, trying to either validate our feelings or understand what happened. But whatever you focus on grows. And I'm going to keep reminding you guys of that. So even if you don't want the negative to grow, if that's what you're focusing on, that's what you're going to find more of. I suggest that we redirect our thoughts. We don't want to put our attention and focus on whatever is upsetting us to begin with. So instead, we can find a better feeling thought or even something to distract our mind. And you might say this is really hard because that's what I used to say. I know that you can feel so focused on what happened that no matter what you think about, your mind just goes back to what's bothering you. And that's completely understandable. But like with anything else, if we practice, we can get better. I was awful at doing this at first. No matter what I thought about, I would instantly go back to thinking about why I was feeling off. And what I started doing was I would think of a thought. And if that didn't work, I would try another thought. And I would keep going until something did lift my mood. And I'll tell you, sometimes I just truly could not find a thought that would lift my mood, especially in the beginning. And what I did find that worked almost 100% of the time was watching funny videos. That always did the trick. There could be times that I would be so upset and worked up and I'd be replaying whatever had happened over in my head. If I would find a video to watch, it was an easy way for me to distract my mind from what I was thinking about and just get lost in the video. It very easily helped me move past my mood by being distracted. For a while, my go-to was Schitt's Creek. I would just pick a random episode because I've seen all of the seasons and I would just start watching it. That show always has me laughing. And it was a great way I found for me to move forward with better feelings. This may or may not work for you. You just have to try different things and see what does work. I'll also mention sometimes you'll find something brings you out of your funk in one situation, but another time it doesn't. So you just have to try different things each time to find what does work. And earlier I told you how I keep a list of the self-care activities that work for me. I also keep a list of all the things that bring me happiness and have been successful on reaching for a better feeling thought. This has been a really huge tool for me to have. So the last step for us is appreciate. I absolutely love practicing gratitude. And it's funny because when I first heard about this concept, I thought I do that pretty often already, which I did. I was always grateful for things in my life, but I decided to take it a step further and really designate time each day to be present and just think about a few things that made me grateful that day. I would do that. I'd list off a few things and I truly was grateful, but I didn't really feel it. And after I would do it, I'd think, did I do this right? Is there a right way? I don't really feel like I embodied the feeling. I'm grateful, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I was either fully present. Maybe I got distracted, but I continued to do it because, like all things, it takes practice. So I continued to do it every day. And one day I noticed how strongly I felt. I felt so happy and so grateful that it brought tears to my eyes because I realized just how amazing my life is and how many things that I was truly grateful for. So now I do that daily because it makes me feel so good. And this is my last step for you when you're feeling out of alignment. Now that you've taken your mind off of what is bothering you, or maybe you didn't even know why you fell out of it, but either which way, our next step is to feel the appreciation. We've shifted your mind away from the negative, and now you want to focus on what is good in your life. Every time we appreciate something, every time we feel good about something, we're attracting more of the same good feelings. What I do is I begin looking around my surroundings and I go over in my head all the amazing things that I do have in my life. And as I really let myself feel the appreciation, I start to feel grounded. And that heaviness that I was feeling goes away bit by bit. And I love this because for years I've struggled with, once I was in a funk, it was there to stay. I wasn't getting out of it. And now I feel more in control. I get excited even over that. It's just this trickling effect that I feel better knowing that I can reverse this. I don't have to be in this funk all day long. I can distract my mind and then think about all the amazing things in my life. And I truly start to feel happier. I get more excited because I'm getting out of my funk. I'm feeling more back to my aligned self. And that feels amazing. And I feel proud of myself. I did it. The funk didn't win. I was able to slowly work myself out of it. And that feels so good because who wants to be in the funk? No one wants to be there. So remind yourself, we can do anything we put our minds to. Sometimes it just takes more work than other times. The key to serenity and peace and happiness is trusting in yourself and trust the universe has your back, knowing that everything will be okay. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge how you're feeling. Practice self-care. Redirect your thoughts to a better feeling thought. And now that we've redirected our mood, we can allow ourselves to appreciate all the good around us. I just love this. It gives such a sense of control, and it shows us that we can work through these moments. So I hope this has helped you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful April. And if I do have time, I'll definitely post another episode this month. But otherwise, I will talk to you guys next month, and please, please, please follow, leave a review about my podcast. Share it with any friends that you think might enjoy my podcast. It'll help build my audience. All right, guys, thanks so much.